the YMCA?
When she first came into the classroom, she was very shy, really withdrawn, and I've seen her grow throughout these months. I've had her since last August, so she's been with me a full year. Actually, yesterday was our graduation, and looking at the children and seeing them and knowing that most of my classroom is leaving to kindergarten, it became a realization to me that all the teachers and the students here and the kids here are like my family.
Mi hijo Primitivo es un héroe para mí.
For me, a hero would be my son Primitivo. I'm a tutor with the Tutor Corps. We help the children when they come in after school with the homework, and then we read books to them. We're there when they need us. We help them with math problems. We're just there for them. I wouldn't know where I would be without the Guadalupe Center, because it's the best feeling to know you have someone there behind you, just supporting you. And when I need someone to talk to, I know I can always come to anyone in the Guadalupe Center and they'll listen to you. They've been such a great help. They helped me with ACT, with the scholarship. I wasn't able to work this last summer because I went to a summer program with UF. And I know now that I want to be into environmental science and geology. But I miss the kids a lot. I really, really missed them. And now I'm starting to work again this year. And I just couldn't wait to see them again. And it's just a wonderful thing. I think my hero would have to be my mom. She's just been there for me in every possible way that a mother could be for a son. I love her for everything she's done. I help my mom and my sister with everything that I can. That's one of the greatest reasons I want to go to college, because I want to come back and I want to help my community, but I want to help my mom and I want to help my sister, and I want to buy us a house, and I want us to just be better off. There's a great need in my community, and it's just been there supporting me, so I want to come back. I want to help out. I want in everything I can. If I'm successful, I want to give a lot back to the community, because there's a great need for people to come back and help our community.
Yo pensaba que no iba a poder yo tener hijos, y cuando él llegó cambió mucho mi vida porque me sentí completa. Yo no me sentía completa. Sin él, cuando él llegó, entonces yo me sentí completa mi vida.
She thought she wasn't going to be able to have children, and once she had me, she felt her life was complete because of me.
As Collier County has grown, so has the number of cases of child abuse and neglect. One local protection agency reports a 30% increase in cases of physical and sexual abuse against children in the past year alone. Combined with a shortage of funds, it is difficult to provide long-term counseling to these children in emotional and physical trauma. A hero is a child who can stand up to the abuser. It is the counselor who restores a child's self-esteem. It is the mother who has rebuilt her life to protect her son's future. A hero comforts a child in pain. These are our heroes.
I was with my abuser for 4 years, from the time I was 13 to 17. I didn't really look at it as abuse. I just looked at it as we just went too far. And every time I would say something afterwards, he would say he was just playing, and so that's what I thought it was. But as time went on, it would get to the point where even if we were just arguing, he would get physical. We would hang out with friends and stuff, and in front of them, he was, you know, the perfect guy. And then slowly he started pulling me away from everybody, saying he wanted to spend more time with me if I had plans with family, and I just withdrew from my family, especially since things started getting worse. One morning, I skipped school, and we went back to his house. As soon as we walked in the front door, he told me that if I didn't like the way the relationship was going, then I needed to leave. So I got my stuff, and I went to walk out the front door. He grabbed me by my throat and pinned me over backwards over the washer, putting the washer into my back and putting me down. I pushed him off me into the bathroom door, and he got angry, and he threw me into the closet door, my back hitting the doorknob. And I went to run to the kitchen, and he grabbed me by the back of my hair and pulled me back, picked up my whole body, and just shook me. And then he dropped me to the floor, and it just continued that way until we realized we had to leave because his mom was going to be home soon. The first time I had someone actually ask me about a bruise was during math class, and I went to go sharpen a pencil, and a girl stopped me and asked me what the bruises on my faces were from. I really didn't react to her at all. I just immediately signed out and went to the bathroom to see if I had to cover them with cover-up. That very same day, I went to the counselor at school and told her what was going on, and she got in touch with the Shelter for Abused Women and Children, and they sent Daphne.
So I was called to Pimento High, and I spoke with Harley, and I spoke with her abuser separately. That went on for about a month, I would say. I would go to school for maybe 3 times a week for a couple hours.
At first, it was really weird. She was a stranger, telling her my life story, and I was hesitant to let her in, but I wanted help so bad, and I wanted to change myself to where I wouldn't allow things like this to happen. So that allowed me to open up to her more, and that's when I started going to the shelter.
I think the shelter provided a major role in her life because she, first of all, was finally safe. She had a lot of opportunities because of the shelter.
Just telling my story at group at the shelter, and once I started seeing the difference or the awareness that I was creating, it just felt really good, and I decided that I wanted to be a child psychologist and maybe help girls in my same position. I definitely look at Daphne as my hero. I really believe that if it wasn't for her, I would be dead right now. I really feel that. She saved my life, and she allowed me to see the future that I could have, which is looking really good.
The trauma of dealing with one's loved one who's been sexually abused is real. Catholic Charities has been providing psychotherapy services for many years. We've recently seen a dramatic increase in the need for counseling services for 3 to 5-year-old children, many of whom have been traumatized and abused.
In the course of my work as a psychologist, I've worked with many abused children. One of the most difficult populations to work with is sometimes the sexually abused child.
One of the most positive occurrences here at Catholic Charities has been the addition of Dr. Marta Gallegos. Marta has immense expertise in working with traumatized children.
A lot of what we do is we work in play therapy. And in play therapy is a really natural way where children express what it is that is bothering them. One of the things we have to really consider is that when a child has been sexually abused or physically abused or has undergone some kind of a trauma, that stays with them. We don't really like to think that children can be sexually abused. We want to think of them as having a happy, innocent childhood. But sexual abuse, unfortunately, does happen.
Tyler seen a lot with the abuse and the alcoholism. He experienced a lot. He got a lot of the pain from it. He remembers, and he actually voices the difference that he sees. And I'm not going to, well, I am going to speak for him. He says he likes life now as compared to how it used to be.
Well, when Althea first came, she was physically sick. Her kids were crying. The kids were frightened. And I remember talking to Althea that day she got here, and Tyler was afraid that Santa wouldn't know where he was. And it was really touch and go for a long time. We provided a lot of attention, and about the time she had been here a few months and she was thinking about moving on, I think what happened is Tyler began to really do well, and that got Mom inspired. I remember her telling me she finally became the woman she had always wanted to be.
They got to be kids again, and that was a good thing. And you know, I was there for them in the mornings when they woke up, and I wasn't sleeping till 10, and I was Mom. And